La 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 la.
Me.
Ready?
Yeah.
Remember to say it's a Christmas special.
It's the Christmas special. This is number 66 of the FIFA Ramble.
Ho
Thank
ho
you.
ho.
There's no forced fun. It's
No.
just fun.
Do you know what isn't fun? Waking up on Christmas Day and not getting what you want in your stocking.
So this
Just
week's
week.
sponsor is Gary's Dream Stocking. And what does a
Gary's-
Dream Stocking involve?
Imagine you dream about something you want in a stocking
Yeah.
and that didn't happen. Gary's Dream Stocking, make sure that's never the case. Anything you can dream will be in your stocking on Christmas Day. How does that sound?
If you need a stocking, go to Gary.
Gary, but be careful what you ask for.
Hello, I'm Bill Pip. What a wonderful...
Christmas from all of us together.
with the stocking. Reach in and grab your Christmas gift. I'm Bill Pip. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Gary.
And Bill Pip.
And Bill Pip. You can find Bill Pip on Twitter.
Twitter. Bill.
If you look at Ole's first few fixtures,
Ollie's in.
is Cardiff away, Huddersfield at home, Bournemouth at home, Newcastle away,
And there's
Reading at home.
Reading, yeah.
That's not. But with all
That's
due
all
respect,
right.
you
Nice.
can't ask for much better.
No, it's a good few games
Get a bit of
to get
feel
in.
good factor, maybe.
Keep shooting. You're 8 yards out. Shoot.
Shoot, yeah.
Shoot.
He's a big fan.
Shoot.
Look, isn't it nice when the fixtures throw up these games where his first game back as a manager in England is against Cardiff City? Isn't it lovely when that happens?
I know.
Close and go back into it. That's right.
Done.
Look.
And then you
Does
go.
it for you. Does it all for you.
It's not saved. This season, there are a lot of things that Jose Mourinho needs to take the blame for.
Are you sure it's just not people looking for a head on a plate?
Right.
Because it shouldn't be directed purely at
No,
Mourinho.
it shouldn't. It shouldn't. And this is not me saying that I believe that it's Mourinho's fault. There's massive problems. Ed Woodward's the biggest problem at United. On the field, Manchester United have been appalling. Jose Mourinho is in charge of tactics. He is in charge of coaching. He is in charge of development of players. That hasn't happened. He is directly to blame for that. There is no Manchester United player
There's
this
no
season.
cohesion. That's what you say.
There's no Manchester United player this season that I can say in his time right now.
De
Name
Gea.
one player.
De Gea.
who-
He said the players gave all they could, and then he did a shout out.
Shout out.
To Robertson.
Robertson,
which
yeah,
is
he
a
did.
weird thing to do because he's not the type of person to do that, and it's just it seems like another little spiteful thing to add in of like he seemed really quick and he was just like wow, he was all over the place.
He delivered right. This is the statistically we've never played with less width than we did against Liverpool, and we have never passed the ball so frequently in the middle without passing out wide ever. And look,
and they're scared to play
it was
though as well.
Yeah, did nothing about it.
Calling out Sir Alex Ferguson.
He did nothing about it.
No,
He knew that when he
because
left,
it's to protect your
it was a
reputation. You can go out as a hero.
It was an aging squad that he left behind, and he literally must have walked out and gone, good luck dealing with those lot about buying players, because they're known for it. United are known for it. Everyone says, oh, they spend a lot of money. They don't spend a lot of money unless that player has a marketable value, and that's where Edward Wood comes into play with transfers.
Is that where the Martial thing, the stumbling block comes
The
in?
Martial thing is that they know...
Because that's a ridiculous situation.
Right,
to be in.
Martial, they know that he is very marketable as a player.
Yeah.
He's very marketable.
So they denied him from making appearances to trigger the 56 million instead
Ed
of...
Woodward, I guarantee you, Ed Woodward, if he had his way, he would have Pogba playing every game regardless of how he's playing. He would have Lingard playing every game because Lingard's really marketable, social media presence and so on. Edward would have players like Alexis Sanchez playing, and all these players because the name value. Jose Mourinho wanted players who were functional. He didn't want to oversign too many right wingers because we didn't need them. So, and they wouldn't allow the funds to be released unless it was a huge star. Now, he asked for players that were not given to him. That's Ed Woodward's fault. That's the club's fault. That will not change under another manager. But there's a few things. They're 1 point off.
I can see you getting all raged over.
Yeah, because these are the things that Mourinho needs to be taken into account about. We're 1 point per game worse off than we were last season. 1 point worse off. XG. We had the highest XG conceded stats last season. So we were expected to concede the fewest amount of goals. That has gone up by a point, which is about... It works out to be about 1.3 more goals a game we're conceding. We have... This is amazing. We have a worse defensive record than Huddersfield. We've got the same goal difference as Leicester. We've got the same number of wins as Bournemouth.
Yeah.
and we've created less chances than Southampton.
We've
created less chances than Southampton.
And aren't United one of the lowest down the league for sprints and tracking?
I think they've got a very slow team.
Or a lot behind.
Do you know what the problem is though? And this is, yes, they have. There's an awful lot in that team that needs correcting. There's an awful lot of talent in that squad that needs coaching as well. And I think if you bring in somebody who can then deal with Edward Wood and the Glazers about finances and argue when you want to sign Perisic, who we were talking about earlier.
Perisic, yes.
This is the story in that when he was trying to sign Perisic, they were saying, but we're not really sure how we can market him. And then Jose Mourinho was like, I don't care. He wants to join the club.
Yeah.
He's one of the best players in his position. I need someone out wide.
28, whatever.
And apparently he had to argue the case that signing somebody who was of an older age, as it was seen, and was playing in a league that this season is not on a usual means of watching in the UK.
All the time, though. You need
but also, that was the
same
same issue that he wasn't getting the defenders he wanted to get in the summer as well, for the age of resale value.
And we've discussed that hugely.
For me, I do wonder. I think I agree that there's massive problems at the club. I think you getting rid of the Magic isn't going to solve the underlying issues there. You're kind of plugging a different plug into the same messed up system. And there's 3 managers now that have had issues there, which shows it runs a lot deeper. I do think that there are certain things that Mourinho is to blame for. I do partly think, and this is because of the way Mourinho is, that a little bit is down to the fact that he didn't get what he wanted in the summer, and it's a little bit like, well, some of the team he put out against West Ham, even some of the teams to do a degree against Liverpool. It's almost like I told you. In fairness to Mourinho, right? So Pep Guardiola came in at Man City, first season, didn't win anything. Yeah. He asked for a new goalkeeper and 4 new defenders. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 4 new defenders.
And they gave
he got backed.
Yeah,
so,
that is the difference. United have signed this season.
Look, is that the best
summer,
Man City team you've ever seen? Like that's
there's a story doing the rounds at the minute of when. Of this summer with Mourinho and the things that he was asking for and not getting, that eventually he was just like, well, this is ridiculous. I've asked you for Harry Maguire and you've been quoted this much, and they were saying, well, we don't mind paying it because he's English and he's marketable.
Very marketable.
And then Mourinho then apparently turned that around and went, well, who at this club was failing in recognising Harry Maguire before he signed for Leicester? And they were all like, he's like, get me all the chief scouts. And he apparently pulled everybody in, and he was just like, why are you as a football club failing to recognise a few years ago Harry Maguire? Why are you not recognising it, but Leicester did? And he turned it, that was part of the problem. My theory with but he decided to turn it on the club and be like, why didn't you see this? And
I saw the whole game, and United were just second best the whole time. I feel if 15 minutes, around the time of the end of the first half and the start of the second half, it looked like the game was sort of just going through a bit of a lull. But other than that, Liverpool just looked quick to every ball. They were chasing everything down. It just looked like
I'm just saying, like, it was 1-1 up until this. It
doesn't matter. Right. It was not a 1-1 game. You have to watch it play out in real time. Hence why I can't watch re-recorded football. I can't tape a game and then go back to it. It doesn't feel right because I can be like, fast forward past this, it's boring, and it skips out the bits you need. That's why I don't like highlight. We are December. We're 11 points off fourth. We're 19 points off top. Yeah, we are statistically, and I ran the figures through Stats Bombs. Don't count. And other people have put posts out there. Statistically, if we continue to drop points at the rate we are and concede goals at the rate we are, Manchester United will not finish in the top 10.
Like very Mourinho-esque.
Do we do that, or do we do Arsenal?
I think we do maybe listeners.
This is a section we like to call Readers' Wives.
Readers' Wives.
So this week I asked our listeners on our Twitter, which is at the FIFA Ramble, I asked them, we wanted to know what football-related present you want Santa to leave under your tree this year. And that's what we asked our listeners this week on Twitter.
Some good
and
responses.
We got some great responses back. First though, Mitch, what do you want Santa to leave under your tree?
Maybe a decimated ram mascot under the tree. It's quite dark, that, isn't it?
I think so.
Alex, lift the mood. What do you want Santa to pull out of his sack?
A nice pair of goalkeeper gloves.
At least mine was on. I knew you were going to say goalkeeper gloves.
Gormisaurus. He's a Chelsea fan, and his wishes this year were a striker. His first one, straight in, striker. I mean, they had Tammy Abraham, but they let him leave, but...
Still wonders of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
You
like
had
when
a striker, you got rid of him, Chelsea.
Like
I'm getting sidetracked.
It's like when you buy like a PlayStation and I don't want the PlayStation, and you give it away and actually no, I do want a PlayStation.
Can I have a PlayStation
Have it back, and
Can
you
I have
buy
it
it.
back?
Yeah.
He also
Something like
wants
that.
John Terry from 15 years ago, which I thought was a bit risque in the current climate of things at Chelsea, but you know.
He wouldn't cope, especially if VAR has been brought in.
John Terry wouldn't cope, but no, they're kicking racism out of football. He also asked for Ray Wilkins. He wanted people to call Pogba out for being lazy.
Well, that's the agree with that word, but
No. Nike to stop letting fans do the kits.
I like that one. Yeah, that's good.
Which
Yeah.
is good.
I like that. Yeah.
And then he ends.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I like that.
He wants all Spurs fans to be opening their new stadium with their first championship match.
Really?
Yeah, Andrew got in touch.
What did Andrew want?
Andrew is another long-time listener.
Yeah.
B-Dog Breading. At Scrumpy Moe on Twitter. He's
a bit amped up.
It's a bit hand on. At Scrumpy Moe. He wants an injury-free KDB. He's a Man City fan.
that rhymes as well.
Yeah.
No.
Then he gets a bit serious. He wants an end to racism, sexism, and homophobia in the game. Handlebar Barista, previous guest of the podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out Handlebar Barista. Shout out. They just rather smugly, I might add, said we've got everything we want at Liverpool. Thanks very much. At Maverick2, another Chelsea fan from London, he wants them to build a smoking area for Sarri on the touchline, because that will improve things for him.
Or vape.
I like the way as well. He's sort of something that Sarri would want. So it's really selfless, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely
not.
gift.
It's what he knows what someone else would want. So that's
improve
the spirit
his
of Christmas. Yeah.
He also wants Chelsea to start playing Ruben Loftus. I couldn't say his name.
Ruben Loftus Cheek. Ruben.
He wants him to start every game.
Ruben Loftus Beep.
He wants him to start every game ahead of Kovacic and Barkley.
That's controversial.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
Kovacic.
I
Right.
like that.
It's an interest. And then he also asked for someone to save his fantasy football season.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I can if you want.
You
I'm
can't
doing
save
really
that.
good.
Give him
I'm
the
doing really
logins.
well. I'm doing really well.
Right.
Raj, who long time follower, and he was only on the live once, but he's an Arsenal fan, so you'll love him.
I like this one. I saw this
Right,
one. This is
he
great.
wants Ozil to prove
Check
everyone.
this one out.
No, this is good.
Go on.
He wants to see Ozil to prove everyone wrong and impose himself on every game from now on. Number 2,
2.
Lacazette and Aubameyang to start up front together more often.
But they could just do that whenever they want.
New contract for Ramsey.
Not going to happen.
Dennis Bergkamp and or David Seaman.
In their pomp? Or just generally?
Just
Generally, just
just
around the
as
house.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As now.
Under a tree?
Yeah, under a tree. Sandy Cazorla to come back.
Oh, and to be fit. To be
Yeah.
fully fit. That would be a
Oh,
dream.
we've got him here. And then he ends on a high. He's going to self-combust at this point. He wants Arsene Wenger to win the Champions League with either Bayern Munich or Real Madrid.
Oh, I sort of want that.
What do you think about that?
Oh,
I like the way
he let
Al
out
started
his-
off so grumpy. He was like the Grinch, and then by the end of that, he just completely got turned around, didn't he?
Yeah. Darren at Peter
Walked your
Moore.
cockles with that.
Can I finish on a high?
Why?
Actually, I've got another one. At Beardmong, Johnny Brooke, our guest last week.
Shout out!
Favourite mine,
His
Johnny.
wish this year is for a Scouse collapse. We'll save the best to last, I won't kid you. Pete at the Blender Coach. Shout out. At the Blender Coach.
The Blades.
The Blades. The spirit animal of our podcast. Said, easy one. A wrapped staying in the Premier League voucher, redeemable May 2019. Bang!
It's actually grown on me.
£2,000. Don't. Mitch,
You
do
will
your
be
corner.
singing it
No,
all week.
I think this time
Leave
for
it.
Mitch's corner.
Mitch, do your corner.
All right, so recapping the championship from last weekend, huge win for West Brom at Sheffield United, coming from a goal down. Kieran Gibbs getting a win, a third goal of the season for him, popping up with some crucial goals. That's a big win for West Brom because they've been stuttering a little bit the last few weeks. Sheffield United, a strong team at Bramall Lane, so that's a good win. That's a really good win for them. Then on the Saturday, I think the game between Bristol City and Norwich was really entertaining on Sky. 2-2. Bristol City giving as good as they got. I think they deserved a point there. Leeds, I think, of the whole weekend came out of it the best because Leeds were the only team, I think, in the top 7, I think, that actually won. Derby and Forest drew. Middlesbrough lost to QPR. Birmingham drew 2-2. So Leeds came out of it, I think, with the biggest victors from the whole weekend. Going into this weekend, Leeds' game at Aston Villa is the big one. I think that's on the Monday, so that's going to be a really big one because both of them are in good form. Villa drew 2-2 with Stoke. But they're on a decent unbeaten run under Dean Smith now. They seem to be going well. So I think that's a big one. Another couple of games to watch out for. I think Norwich going to Blackburn. Blackburn are always quite a tricky side. Tricky. I know. I always mention Norwich, but they're no. We're not shouting them. No. They can't shout out a game they haven't played yet. So they're going to Ewood Park. Blackburn always fairly difficult to play at home. And then I think the other one down the other end of the table, Brentford at home to Bolton. I don't know. We can't call it. I still refuse to call anything a 6-pointer at this stage, but Brentford have been slightly in free fall since they lost Dean Smith. Bolton are in the relegation zone. Big game for both sides going into a busy Christmas period. Watch out for that one. That's the corner. That's a wrap. I have knowledge.
Mitch's corner.
What does that mean? We've got lots. That's 8 big games to talk about. Actually.
Can I just do a little section?
On Arsenal.
No.
And goalkeepers.
On what?
Keepers in the wet. It's a hashtag. I'm going to try and start.
What?
Keepers in the wet.
Oh my god.
I didn't see this on the running order.
I didn't see
Is
it.
it just another name that you come up without any thought behind it?
I don't think I was prepared for keepers in the wet.
There's a lot of great performances of goalkeepers in the wet.
Okay, right.
That's all right. I'm
you get
backing
like
that.
what? 2 minutes?
2 minutes for
2
2
minutes.
minutes.
When I start doing this motion with my hands, that's your time out.
Hey guys, there's another thing about the weekend which I thought was really interesting, which I know you're going to appreciate.
Yeah.
I've started a hashtag recently, it's really taken off.
Okay.
What is it?
It's called Keepers in the Wet.
Keepers in the what?
Keepers in the wet.
In the what?
In the wet. So it's
Opposite to
goalkeepers, the goalkeepers who
Okay.
operate in the wet and give the
always?
just the credit they deserve.
Where did they go in the dry?
I'm just saying, like on the weekend past,
Yeah.
that was a great keepers
But
in
where
the
do
wet.
these keepers go in the dry?
So who
Are
impressed
they
you in
just
the wet?
keepers wandering around in the dry? Just like worrying.
I just got some credit.
Okay.
Credit where it's due.
Go on.
I want Etheridge to get some hashtag keeper in the wet.
Okay.
That was a phenomenal performance, and that could have been way worse.
No, it-
Like the 3-2, that was a great game, right?
It was a good game.
Both goalkeepers did very well. However, like Etheridge specifically, that's the best performance I've ever seen him ever play ever. Like for Cardiff
Ever.
City,
Still letting 3.
he was incredible. Still, yeah, I know, and that's the thing. Goalkeeper nowhere, still letting 3, still had a one fantastic performance. So I thought that was.
He's giving up against United. I hope it's not wet.
Do you know what? De Gea did really well.
In the wet.
In the wet.
In the wet. One thing I will say for De Gea is that the 2 goals were deflected. Right, I'm getting involved.
It was, and it was quite wet as well. So it was
in the wet.
One thing, which goalkeeper in the wet, which I'm still hashtagging, but it was the Alisson bit of a blunder in terms of like, let Man United in.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that
lull 'em, boys, lull 'em.
That was great. Otherwise, Matt Ryan, shout out to Matt Ryan.
Shout out.
Also performed very well, keeper in the wet.
So, Champions League.
So got announced, right?
Champions League,
Is
next
this the
round
last
16.
16,
This
the Man
round
United
16.
It
Yeah.
is, it
Oh my
is.
goodness, they're in the last 16.
They are. For how long they remain in the Champions League is up for debate. They've pulled up Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Phil Jones and Chris Smalling when they come up against Mbappe?
I cannot wait to
I
see.
think,
Oh my life.
I think that was actually one of the better draws they could have got out of the list of teams that could
No,
have drawn.
I genuinely
I genuinely think
Right.
that
No,
was one
with
of the
you,
better
I
ones.
think that's the one which you were like, damn.
No, I was
Yeah,
right.
right.
I was right.
Right.
They must be
The problem that I
have.
had, the problem I said to Adam Hewins, previous guest of this podcast, been on 3 times.
Friend of the Rumble.
Friend of the Ramble. He was in with. I saw him that morning before the round came out, and he sort of came up to me, spoke to me, and said, "Have they drawn it yet?" And I was like, "No." And then about 10 minutes later, he was on the phone, but he was just pointing furiously at BBC News, and he was like, "They've drawn it," and he's on the phone. And I was like, "Okay." And I said to him, I was like, "As long as we don't get PSG, we'll be all right, I reckon, because every other team will smash us. But PSG, some people will go, it's not bad. They might be able to do it, but they will get smashed." Man United are not equipped to play PSG.
No, they're not.
Anyone
They're not
in
equipped.
there.
No, they haven't got a left.
But they've made it through.
Shaw's out. Valencia's apparently not good enough anymore. What? It's the worst thing in the world. Well, basically, all we are doing playing this Champions League fixture is delivering Pogba. That's all we're doing. We're just, there you go. Just because Rabiot's leaving, you need that. Have him. Just have him.
I'm not saying they're going to win. I generally think that.
Can I just
enjoy every
enjoy it while you're in?
Yeah, right.
Enjoy
Can I
the
get
last
a shout
16.
out in preparation? Is this possible? It won't have
No,
happened yet.
no, you can't get shot. What are you?
You shouted
Okay,
James
I'm
Milner last week. I
preempting.
wasn't happy about
Okay,
it.
I'm
It happened.
preempting a shout out then because
Oh
it
my
will
God!
happen.
Say
Ajax Real Madrid.
that you're shouting out a game, a match, yeah?
Yeah,
All right.
I think that's the
Yeah.
2 games which
That's
I
gonna be
think.
class.
What about Liverpool Bayern?
No,
No.
I think Liverpool smash them.
I think
Wow.
Liverpool are going to get through in that game.
I think Bayern is actually the easiest draw they could have got.
Cameras on. Hello. Okay.
Right, ready?
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
we're doing an outro.
Yeah, this is just
This
an
is
outro. Ready?
So are we doing an outro now?
Outro. Thank
is
you
66.
for listening. Thank you for watching.
Where can you
Thank
find
you for
us?
doing both. You can find us on the internet.
Is there any special events coming up?
There is one special
Like a
event.
really special event?
Yeah,
there is.
really
I
special
think
event. We're doing our first live show. We're doing our
I know.
first live show January the 30th
Didn't know what it was.
at Big Moose Coffee in Cardiff. Come along. All money raised. It's £5 to enter. It's a football quiz that we will be writing ourselves.
Where can I find this?
You can get it on Eventbrite, which is on our
Eventbrite.
Facebook page,
Facebook
and it's
page.
pinned to the top of our Twitter.
Oh my
At the
goodness
FIFA
me.
Ramble, the FIFA Ramble. Come along, tickets are already selling.
I know.
So it's going to be a live
gonna be
podcast.
amazing
It's going to be a
evening.
live podcast, but predominantly a football quiz.
Yeah, so you can see us do this podcast.
You can see us
and then there'll be
record
some
this
the
podcast,
football questions
and then
some
there'll
videos.
be questions. Yeah,
And then-
we
yeah.
don't actually know how we're going to do it, but that's the structure. So
It'll
come
be-
along
it'll
and
work.
see us absolutely ruin ourselves or have a great event.
But either way, you'll see how the
Either
podcast
way,
is done.
it's £5 per team, and you can only bring 5 people per team. So I don't want to see teams of 50. 5.
And
all right.
we've managed to secure the best quizmaster.
The best
of football
quizmaster.
in all the land.
Big Daddy Mitch. Us 3 will be asking you questions and recording this podcast.
Get your tickets.
We'll have
now.
rounds. Get
Now.
tickets
Now.
now. £5 per
Great man.
team.
And how much are tickets?
£5.
£5.
On the door or now.
Goes to charity.
Gary will be there.
All of it goes to Gary won't be there.
Okay.
Not after last time.
That really suits you.
I can't believe where.
You look like a member of the Coops.
Oh, say you want to be drunk. Come on,
You see the last 2004
I'm so naive.
You look like a member of the Coops.
So naive.
2006.
No,
Right.
naive.
That's a wrap.
Sofa.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, okay.
Are you going to come clap?